And we are live. Hey, YouTube. Um, un momento is we should be having audio come. Yes, okay. Good. My microphone is working. So this is. I'm gonna have a mint. Two left. Arctic Altoids Peppermint. So I'm testing how much light does my Sony HX99 need. This comes as I'm planning on saving up and getting a new camera. First, I'm going to get sound foam for this room. That's the original thing I was at Dollar Tree for, going back to Dollar Tree. Then, I'm going to save up for a new camera. The Sony ZV-E1 is looking pretty good, actually. I'm probably going to go for that one. But for right now, I've got the HX99, which, let me show you this very annoying thing that I've had to do. So you can look in the webcam feed. Why? There we go. Now I should have the reach for my cable to show you guys. So here's the camera. Sony, in their infinite wisdom, decided to put the HDMI port on the bottom, right next to where you would mount it to a tripod, and next to the battery door, which also houses the micro SD card. So you can't do any of that. So I've had this thing, my phone mount, some elastic hair elastic thingies. This would not be a permanent setup. I would also probably look at getting a different HDMI cable. This is the only one that was local that I could get without having to wait for it to ship. Got it from Walmart, which, I mean, it does have mini HDMI as well. So I'm sort of set for the future as long as the shape doesn't mess with any of my future needs for whatever. Because I think the ZV-E1 has the mini HDMI. Either way, it's, yeah. Also, like, the video is not, well, maybe it's a different resolution, but the picture that you're seeing from the camera is not filling the whole, frame. Especially when I had, let's see, if I'm going to switch to something where you won't be able to hear me, but it's going to have everything wide and centered, and you'll see it won't fill. So yeah, like with the way things are in OBS, it looked like, you know, my full Elgato was the full width. Because it was a 1920 by 1080. I mean, maybe my canvas size is a little bigger. I don't know. So anyways, let's set you guys this camera back up here. And Tony's been doing the bad placement of the HDMI port for quite a while now. Here, I'll show you guys. This is my, I want to say WX345, but no, that's my red flip phone. DSC W650. This camera right here. This is the camera that shot food, ladies and gentlemen. I was very happy with this camera's quality. And it needs a little bit of fix-up as far as the SD card slot goes. But this could definitely be a good solid third camera. Only 720p. But I liked this camera a lot. But see, bad placement. Put that back on the shelf with other relics next to my red handy cam, which doesn't have the same problem. It doesn't have an HDMI, but it has its RCA thingy out the front. So the point of this is just how much light do I need? Because a video that I need to remember to upload, I'm going to schedule it probably for tomorrow. It's the one where I finally test my speakers. Recording went great. I was able to use my microphone that I'm using now to get some good audio. The video was really fuzzy. Or noisy. And you can see there's a lot of noise flying around right now. And that's with my light for filming webcam stuff, which... Am I running just a single bulb in there? I forget. Let me take a peek. If I can. Because I got... Ooh, yes. So that, which I'm sure is not adding much to the camera, because we see what it looks like right now. So it does fill in a little bit there. But the light bulbs that I use, which maybe they could be a little better for color, have a high CRI, something, I don't know, color render index. But these are just some pretty bright, so we're looking at a Sylvania bulb here. Yeah, the big thing is the 5,000 kelvins. So it blends well, 1,600 lumens. So it blends well with regular sunlight coming in, which is nice. Although sunlight seemed a little bit more blue, so maybe I've gotten something off, but like this is basically like I liked the light bulbs that my mom has for around the house. Which, by the way, let's just turn this to noise town. Let's shut that off. So it really has to crank the ISO. Turn that off. That's probably using the maximum. Does it say what the ISO is right now? I think I can invoke that. Function. Well, okay, so ISO is auto. Here's our minimum and our maximum. Yeah, I'm sure we're at full, because you saw how it dipped like that. Go back there for a second, ISO. Actually, wait, no. The maximum for auto is that, but you can go like 6,400 and shoot in insanely dark places, but that looks terrible. That looks like 2000 cell phone trash video. Or actually a little bit worse than 2000's digital camera video. A little better when I turn on, but yuck. No, let's go back to auto. Auto, please. That looks better. So again, the point of this is just to see like how much light do I need before it's not noisy. Now this is an effect of it having a small sensor. How big is my Sony HX99 SENSOR sensor size, please. So this is a 1/2.3 inch sensor. I don't know what that means, but yeah, it's like 4.55 millimeters vertical by 6.17 millimeters wide. A 1-inch sensor, for contrast, would be 8.8 millimeters tall by 13.2 millimeters wide. You know, I've thought about, considered also getting like the RX100 Mark 5? No, Mark 7. Has an external audio input. It would be pretty good. It's also still really small and compact. I'm not too worried about small and compact. This camera was great for some of the portable shooting that I've done. Same thing with the red camera that I showed, the Sony W650. Something small like that, just pulling that out, quickly recording a food review, and then going on your way. You're not drawing a lot of attention with that in the places that you go. But I mean, my phone could serve that purpose now, so I'm not so much worried about that. But that was one consideration when I did get my HX90V, and then I upgraded to the 99. I want to do a comparison between the two because I felt like the video quality was a little better on the HX99. So let's get some more light into the scene here. Got my first light stand here, running with 2 light bulbs. And it hasn't seemed too bad when I've been like shooting in the kitchen. So maybe I've had a little more light than I do in here, or maybe I just didn't notice. But it could very well have been a little bit lighter than in here. But yeah, I mean, also like the fuzz that we're seeing now, obviously it looks worse if you view this video in full screen, like the video that I'll have coming out sometime soon that's edited, just needs to be uploaded in my speaker test. Yeah, but you can see the fuzz flying around. You don't notice this on the small screen of the HX99 unless you look really close. Like, if you're actually looking for it, you can be like, oh yeah, I can see it in some spots. Especially some of the darker areas. Less so in the white spot on the wall, but, you know, or like the game boxes, there's some fuzz flying around. You can kind of see that on the tiny screen, but you're not going to notice it as much. And that's annoying when you're filming. Like, I'd forgotten that there's fuzz with this thing. It's a small sensor. But let's plug. Oh, already turned on. So there we go. That's going to be pretty harsh. I don't have an umbrella on these lights. What I will actually do is raise it up. Ow. That's still even creating a big, huge, bright spot for my webcam on the back wall there, but at least the light's not in the shot, because that's even worse, I think. But actually, what I need to do, a little thing that I've started doing that I think is a cool tip, I need to make this into a video, like, anything that extends out tripod-wise and whatnot, or this lighting pole here, they have usually 2 sections, so the thicker middle section, and then the end section. I used to start from the end and go up, but now I started going from the middle first, because that's going to be, that's a little thicker, more solid, less likely to break. And then if I need to, I can get extra height from the smaller section, but use the middle section first. So what are we looking at now? Things do look a little less noisy, but there's still quite a bit of noise flying. Oh, also, camera's complaining, or yeah, it's saying, hey, juice me up, bro. I'm gonna have to scoot it over to here. Plug it in. Battery exhausted. Well, we're not over. I do have another battery that should be fully charged. So let me just swap that out. I have 3 of these. I had 4 at one point, but one of them got lost. But 3 of these. Although really 2 was actually enough when I filmed Airborne Death. Swapping between them. And, you know, charging one. Because I also have a dual charger, which I invested into this ecosystem. And then it's going to be changing. So let's plug you. Come on. Plug our HDMI cable adapter back in. There we go. So now we're plugged into the wall. There we go. Pulling up again. Perfect. Perfect. That's nice. So yeah, there's still a bit of fuzz flying around here. We need to get something prettier than the pile of stuff on my table here. Also want to be plugged in. I can move some of these things, like just these brownies. They're gonna go on my snack shelf, but they were sitting there right now because I have been eating them. These are Miss Brownie King, not Mr. Brownie. That's a brand we used to have at Dollar Tree. Don't know if this is the same company, just different brand, or if they've switched. But these ones don't make me feel sick. These chocolate brownies. Like other, like the Hostess donuts. I haven't had those in a while, but the all chocolate Hostess ones kind of make me feel a little sick inside. Could also go and grab my micro USB power cord from my bag that's long, because I don't have any other long ones up here. But ooh, cameras. Looks like we're slowly moving left a bit. I don't know, maybe the rubber bands or something. A little bit of this is just a horrible setup that I would not use if I was seriously filming with this. But then, like, I couldn't have an external monitor. There's a very tiny chance that if I found the right HDMI micro cable that was small enough, and I get this one bracket that lets you open up the door and kind of supposedly use the thing, maybe. I didn't want to spend money on that, especially since this will probably become a secondary camera. But yeah, there's still quite a bit of noise flying around, and I would say this is pretty bright. Like, you have to be used to having the bright lights other than just the ceiling. But let's pump things up some more and see what we get out of another set of lights. And then from there, I'm going to start messing with settings and adjusting things that way. By the way, I was like, by the way, am I live? Was my thought. And I'm like, oh no, I'm not live. No, I'm live. We're good. We're all good. Yeah. And like, since the E1 will do good in, or much better than this in low light settings, I should just be able to turn on my ceiling lights, which is what I want, and, you know, film, not have to set up these other lights. If I'm doing something where I need really nice shots and stuff, I will, because, like, I'd put the umbrellas on these, which I don't have. I don't have an umbrella on these right now, but umbrellas are nice because you get very soft, almost no shadows. Like you can see, this is just the light with the umbrella above my computer for streaming. Turn that off. Obviously we can't see, but you get very nice soft shadows here. And click on the ceiling light again. You can see there's now more of a shadow on the left side, or sorry, the left side of the screen, but the right face of the light tube thing next to the 70s corner entertainment center. Yeah. Now, another thing too, I tried using my Sony camera, the HX99, as a webcam for a little bit. That runs off of the USB port. It worked, but it like kept having issues and not staying connected. I'm wondering if some of that was maybe camera getting a little hot. It makes me wonder how hot the camera would get with this setup. Which, I mean, if I really wanted to use this seriously, and especially if I'm using the external display, I've got like rubber bands and stuff here. I would try and find a different clip, something to hold it in place that would work, that would not cover the controls. Let me use my USB port. I had to really, like, I had it like, yeah, this is how I'm gonna rubber band it into my phone holder. That's gonna work. Oh no, now the tripod's in the way of where the HDMI port goes. If it went straight down, that wouldn't be a problem. So, you know, eventually I may get a different HDMI port. I just wanted something quick for testing now. And I got this one from Walmart. Thank you, Walmart. But yeah, this would not be a permanent setup. I forget where, oh, yeah, I would, but ultimately, if I finalize setup, I would try and have setup so that I could pull the screen, flip it, not all the way around, but just flip it out and have it away from the body of the camera to help with cooling a little more. Okay. Oh, second set of lights. No, that's the first set. What? Oh, yeah, that's the second set of lights. All right, poof. Now we have both sets of lights absolutely pumping. So, 1600 lumens. Let's open up the calculator on my computer. This function plus 1, 6. Wait, this should be just easy head mass. So it's going to be 2,000... 3,200. Hey, I was right. And that's not counting even the lights that we have coming from the ceiling. I don't know what those are. They're relatively bright. All of this is LEDs. They're all 5,000 kelvins, but let's go here. We want to actually change. Wow, okay, so with this light being at ISO 80, which is like, it's the lowest it goes. So there's still a tiny bit of noise. Or actually, I don't know if that's noise or if I'm seeing... I don't know what it's called, but it's like where things don't display properly, go a little fuzzy. There's like a little bit of that fuzzy edges on the TV edge there. Which that's not... It's... I don't know if that's just over the HDMI. And like looking in some of the... I need to tilt my screen back up too. Looking at some of these darker areas... That's a good picture, right? But we've got a lot of light being pumped into here. But I would be pretty satisfied with that. Let's take a look at some objects now. Like, how about this can of Altoids here? That looks pretty good. This would be a usable image. But then again, I have all this light blasting. And I couldn't use that if I didn't have... Like, if I get rid of one of these, that's looking kind of dark. I get rid of my second set of studio lights. That's looking dark. Turn this off so it's just the light above my computer. Now that's like horror movie level, or I don't know. There's different various use cases for having things that dark. But yeah. So this looks pretty good here. I could bump up to 100. And then I can actually, you know, I could cut my light once. Because I'm not a fan of, I don't like necessarily super bright, but this would be okay as well. And, you know, if the HDMI output is anything to go off of, there's maybe a bit of noise up near my, you guys actually haven't seen her yet. The little Lego figure I have up there. All I can say right now is it's the crazy press woman. I'll have a little something showing her off later. But up near there above the TV, I'm still getting that fuzzy whatever, which just to check, I'm gonna do a quick recording of this. And then I'll pull that up on the computer and check to see if there's any of that, whatever you call that. But this here doesn't look too bad. Okay, so then what if I'm gonna just unscrew one of my LEDs? Let my eyes get used to things again. So now I'm just running on the one LED, which if I turn that off, we're not seeing a lot of fuzz come in, but again, this is, well, there is some fuzz, but this is, again, automatic settings. So if I go back to my ISO setting here, set it back to 80, that's looking a little too dark. That could be usable, but I would definitely want 100 with this amount of light, or like, yeah. I kind of like the slightly darker look of this, but most people would probably want like a level 200, which we're starting to see some noise in here. Not as bad as if I turn this up. Like, there's 400, 800, 16, and then absolute, like, why does that thing even exist? Maybe for a still photo, and it could process out some of the noise, but for video, that's a no. So yeah, this is looking okay right now, but still, like, so 80. So yeah, with this amount of light, 200, but that's kind of fuzzy. I would want to go back to 1. Basically, have your ISO as low as you can. So yeah, if I have that light on, we'll pump this light on again. That right there looks usable, but again, I've got these 2 studio lights running here. And, let me see if I have... I kind of... I kind of want to get out the umbrellas and put them on, but like I don't have these angled in a way. I could move them and fit the umbrellas on. I just kind of don't want to. I'm seeing though if I have I have one more light bulb. So then what you do is you grab one of your splitters and you put a splitter off of the splitter. Sounds dangerous. If that sounds dangerous, well, it's not. I mean, it could be, but these light bulbs also, since they're LED, they really use so little. These are 16 watts at 120 volts here in America. And I forget how many watts this thing is rated for, but like 660 watts max total is what these splitters are rated for. Yeah, these Cowboy Studio light fixtures, I don't think they say on them what they're rated for. I think I knew this because of like I had a light bulb. All I remember is that somehow I figured out the number of watts these things are rated for, which might have been based off of a light bulb they came with that was a CFL bulb. And like what these are rated for, like 4 of these light bulbs, which looks crazy in here, but 4 of these light bulbs, aside from weight maybe being an issue, that wasn't enough to do anything. So, all right, we've added an extra bulb to the mix. As you can see here, that looks, well, you guys can't see because, there. Actually, no. There. Look at my webcam. See how whack this looks? But focusing back on our main footage, and the 3-1, poof! That's really, really bright. I would definitely put an umbrella on this, which I'm going to do that right now so you guys can kind of see what that looks like. But one of the things that I want to end up experimenting with at some time is what different styles of light look like, because these are shoot-through umbrellas, but I never used, but made some reflector umbrellas that'll have a different characteristic. I think I've seen that in videos. I watched comparisons, but if I'm really going to find out, I need to get hands-on with it, and I need to be like, all right, what does this look like in my own setting? And that's the big thing with the camera, too. Like, I was going to go on to B&H Photo and ask their experts some questions, and I may still try and do that in just a bit after this stream, if they're still open. I don't know what their hours are, but, or, you know, I can also do that tomorrow, but I want to ask them, be like, hey, this is the camera I'm thinking about, but I want it to have a similar zoom range from very wide, like the 27, or is it 24 millimeters, all the way out to the 20 or all the way to the 720 mil. So you can see, I mean, I didn't really, let's take this off again. So there's harsh shadows, and there's the little, it's a little darker, but they're also a little softer too. Let's cut that light. So yeah, harsh. You see, look at the bottom right corner. There's a shadow of the back of the blue chair that's out of frame. And then that shadow is mostly gone. Then, if I turn on our other lights, which don't have an umbrella yet. Actually, no, they're at an angle where you don't see chair shadow in the shot. So, I don't know what I was expecting from this. I think this answers some of my questions. You know, just having a very low ISO. If I went up to 200, we're getting, but then then let's just get rid of that. Get rid of that. Have my ceiling light turned on, and I'm gonna cut that light. This is what I was, you know, filming with the other day, which there's quite a bit more noise now that it's so dark, but that's not really usable. We're getting pretty fuzzy there, but at this light, I would maybe accept 400 for that. Let's pan over here. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, maybe that's too dark. 400. Actually, I might pick 800 for this. At that point, we're not seeing much of a difference, so I would pick 800. Does it show ISO here? Let's see the DSP button. Yeah, no, that's not changing anything, so... I thought there was a thing where, like, it would show you what ISO it had picked, even though... But yeah, this would be... And I don't know if it just blasts ISO or not, but I'd have to use ISO of 800 for this to be acceptable brightness, but then it's really fuzzy. If I turn this on, then obviously I can go like to 200. If I have both of these lights, I can maybe get away with 100. It's a little dark, but 100 to 200. I just need something that works better in low light. Anyways, thanks for watching this video. Thankfully, it only cost me like $12 for the HDMI adapter, which I didn't already have. If you're excited to see more film things and film stuff, leave a like down below. Actually, wait one moment. I want to test. This won't be as good as an outdoor test, which will really have... Oh, and I need to show that other clip too. So I want to just see dynamic range, like... How can I do a really good dynamic range test? Let's try pointing this way. I mean, here in these settings, it looks okay. Not as bright as the sun, because I'm thinking of, like, airborne death. Especially the outdoor shots. Lily is visible, but everything else is, like, blown out. Death. Just yuck. So... I don't know. At least with this, it seems okay. Let's go back to letting the camera pick everything. This is all auto settings here too, which, actually that's a question. Does it say 1/125th of a second at f3.5 is what it's picked. So whoops, wrong thing. Come on. Also, this is D-range optimizer. If we turn that off, okay, wow. It does look a little darker in the dark spots. Level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, that's really fuzzy in the dark spots. I'm going to leave that on auto. But what we want is, give me manual everything. Okay, except for ISO is still auto. It says there in the bottom, but... Okay, 3.5 is the smallest it's going right now. I think it can go smaller, which means a wider open aperture, but that depends on what you have this set to. Like, if we go up this way, obviously, we're really dark. Yeah, that's grainy, not usable. But of course, you know, I think it was at 1/160th. I think I had it set to this for airborne death. Don't ask me how that affected the look. It looked fine to me, but maybe some fancy film person would notice something. With that film, I was trying to do all manual settings because supposedly it looks better because professionals do it, so why not? But there were some things that I left on auto, like I think ISO might have been... No, I picked ISO. But it was like, I had 60 for the indoor... So I had this on 40 for the indoor shots, 60 for the outdoor shots. I don't remember what I put my ISO at. So the indoor shots looked pretty good. Outdoor shots, like I said, the dynamic range is pretty terrible. So I definitely want something with better dynamic range too. But let's set this back to 1/60th. Well, hold on, let's go. If I go here, then it's going to be really bright out, and I'm going to look super blurry. But we're at 1, whatever that is. That's the 4 seconds, I think. Yeah, that's as small as it goes. So let's set this back to that. I don't know. We'll set it back to all automatic now. Go back to program auto. Okay. So it's okay. This will require some outdoor testing that will not be live streamed most likely. But now what I need to do actually is I need my HDMI cable. I'm going to transfer that clip over, and we're going to see if the weird jaggedy fuzz, it's not chromatic fringe, but whatever you call that around the edge, if that's present in an actual recorded video. So okay, we now unplug that. Yep, mass storage mode, thank you, pretty please. I'm gonna cut this very bright light. I'm gonna cut this very bright light, but I can turn on this not as bright light, and be careful not to bump the USB cable too, which I forget if the ZV one has USB-C. I hope it does. USB-C all the things, guys. Okay, come on. Takes a moment to load everything, but it will. At least it should. There we go. What were these? Oh, wait, those were the takes from my speaker comparison video. So import this short little clip. Should go really fast. Now I need to go to game/screen, see infinity. Okay. Then I need to go to downloads. Where is it? It's right, it's pictures. I always find it weird that it puts the videos under pictures, but yeah, it does. Which, wait. What? Where is it? Oh, here it is. Okay. So you guys should be seeing of this, and then yeah, I could hear that through the headphones. I need to switch my OBS back to my other screen so I can see that you guys see. There's the chat. No noties in it right now, which is okay. I hate how I have to do special wizardry, whatever, to get the shot, or get the chat back where I usually have it. I'll try and show you that in a second, just because, but... Do a quick recording of there's this, maybe a little bit, like, there's definitely some moire patterns going on. Do a quick recording within the CRT screen itself. But I'm not seeing the same things that I was seeing earlier, where this looked kind of jaggedy and not as good. I don't know if it's just the HDMI output on this camera isn't as good for this sort of a thing or not. But seeing that it's not there, if I were to find a way to mount it actually decently to a tripod, have it set up nice, and run my HDMI cable out to a bigger monitor, for filming and recording. I forget where I was going with that. Basically, you know, yeah, I wouldn't worry, I guess, so much about what I was seeing within this area because it's not actually showing up on the video. So yeah, I think, well, last thing, since I mentioned it here, if I move this around, right, and then I'm going to bring my chat in, and on my other monitor, this is the same, the chat is the height of this already. So what I have to do is line up like this, because you see here, and then like I move my chat, and now I'm putting it back. To line it up with that, it's gonna go up above that. I don't want that, so I have to do like this, and then I do like this, and then I do like this. It's a bit of a hassle. But anyways, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, anybody who sees this. I know this is a little more of a technical video, and I probably don't make these the most interesting, but I know a little bit of my way around some things. So, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys in whatever's next. I may do a Minecraft stream tonight. I may also just go down and go to bed a little earlier than usual, but I've been tired, and I've been staying up a little later last few nights because of getting distracted for the wrong reasons. I should have gone to bed, but I didn't. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. And oh, last thing, subscribe if you're excited to see what I'm gonna film next, aside from Minecraft and things. But check out the variety of other things I do. Go watch Airborne Death. That was shot on this camera, and it's one of my proudest works ever, and I hope to do more things like that. So I'll see you guys in whatever's next. Bye!